Hello and welcome everybody, this is Aprilia and thank you for watching this video about NBA 2K14 My Career Big Man. And thank you for watching my previous videos and I hope you enjoyed them, found them useful. And also very big thank you for all the comments and discussions about the videos. I really enjoy them and I'm really thankful for them and keep them coming. I will try to contribute and give you tips and guides, maybe the best I can. But now it's time for me to show you some games that I had off the bench of the Washington Wizards. And in the meantime, I thought that I would actually give you kind of a second opinion or a second look at the game, because with my odds, of course, that I had made for the stat caps, I continued some of them just to experiment, and honestly I have a mixed set of feelings about the game, so good and bad as well, and I thought I would share them with you. First, the good. Of course, presentation, graphics, everything looks nice. The graphics are actually a bit better than last year, with some new tattoos and player faces and everything. Play vision works on the PC. I can say that setting screens doesn't break the play if it's part of, and just look at that block. So setting screens doesn't break plays if it's part of the play, but if you set a screen outside the play, then your guard will react to it, so everything is perfect in this regard. Replays work as well as intended, although with the highlight stuff, especially at halftime, you will see in this video as well, sometimes or well, quite often, they keep repeating like the 2-3 same moves in the replays, so you see the same dunk like twice or 3 times in the halftime report. If you had a dunk, you will see that in this video. Controls, I really don't have and I really don't have a problem with offensive rebounding either, dunking. So I don't really have a problem, well, no problem with the controls. I basically just turned off right stick passing, and after that everything works perfectly, just like last year. The social media challenges are really nice addition. Of course, you can see these before any match. Well, most of your matches will have a social media challenge, something like so player sends you a message. If you don't know where to find them, the player sends you a message that I bet you will not get 5 blocks against us in the next match, or I will make sure that you get less than 25 points, or you will surely not get a double-double. And if you do, then you get up to, I believe, 200 or maybe even more points. And in key games, these well, should be doubled, but they are actually not all the time. I just look at this. Fast break block. Beautiful. So actually they are bugged, because I did have one match, a key game, where I was actually awarded 900 points, including the double social media reward, so 400 points for just for that one, because it was a key game. But after the match I ended up with 700 points, so maybe I started it with minus 200 or something like that. So this bug still exists, but otherwise the game is fine. So the social media challenges are really fine, and the drills, this sort of lobby screen that you get with drills, is something really nice. I actually made a post about it, or a request or recommendation last year, but because especially on the consoles, of course, it was really annoying to load, do the drill, save, and then do the second drill. Now, of course, you have this like lobby screen where you can immediately launch the next drill. So it's something really nice, really appreciated. And basically, the game feels good 70% of the time. And this is when the bad things start coming in. So let's talk about those. First of all, momentum. Oh boy. This is something that some people hated, some people didn't mind last year. I was one of the latter ones, so actually, well, I wouldn't say a fan of the momentum, but of course it was something that allowed all teams to actually have a chance against other teams. Of course, it was a bit overdone, or a lot overdone, but I always kept telling myself that in the series, in real life, in the series final series between Dallas and the Miami Heat, in one of the matches, Dallas was down 20 points at the end of the third quarter, and they won the match, and of course later the championship. So that's momentum in real life for you. So it does exist. However, in 2K14, it doesn't really seem to exist, meaning that its effect equaling the score, or at least giving a chance to everyone. And just look at this. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Post moves at its finest. So the effect of momentum, meaning evening the score, is not in the game. That means that now it's really possible, and it happens quite a lot to your team or to your opponent in a luckier case, is that it's really possible to blow out a team. Just an example, on one of my alts, of course, is one of the power forwards that I made. He's not my main character, by the way, so just an experiment, so I will not show this match. So he's a power forward for Golden State Warriors. And just look at this move from Andre Kirilenko. He basically gave himself an assist. I mean, come on. We were playing against, I don't know, Detroit or someone like that, so it was an even match. So two good teams. And when I come off the bench, 7 minutes left in the first quarter, the Golden State Warriors are down 26-6. And since there is no momentum run, we cannot really do anything, because they are down 26-6 because they play bad. So they without momentum continue to play bad. I of course tried my best. Maybe we came up to like 15 points deficit or something like that, and then I get subbed out, then subbed back in. Again, we are down 22 points. Nothing you can do about it off the bench. Of course, these games happen in real life, but I mean, it was really annoying, and it was really frustrating because my team was a good team in that instance. The other thing is that, of course, not mentioning that the steals and the blocks, because blocks are of course something that you will enjoy doing in the game, but of course the rating, I mean the rate at which they happen, and especially the steals, where you can just run next to the guard, the opposing guard, and he will just drop the ball even more than last year, or they just dribble outside or out of bounds, or they give passes to nobody, the inbound play or something like that. I will not go into those. Of course, these are extremely annoying. But the other thing is that, and by the way, there are a lot of injuries as well. So I haven't played for any team in or with one of or any of my alts which hadn't had at least one injury in like 5 games, and most usually these are starters. So that's something again that is you can say it's realistic, and they don't get injured for like 6 months or something. So it's not like a Derrick Rose kind of injury, but it's just something that is worth noting. Let's look at that block. Oh my god. The other thing is that the game is more realistic, meaning in scoring. So that means that unlike last year, where you could see like 130 to 120 final points or game results, this doesn't happen in this game. So all the scores are around 100. That's good, but sometimes you can see, and also player stats are kind of realistic, because, for example, I had one match which was, you might remember last year, I had multiple matches where Kobe Bryant scored like 60 points or more than 60 points. In this instance, he scored 12, so it was a bit too low, actually. But even in a blowout, nobody will go and score 50 points on you, and most probably later in your career, it will be harder for you to score that as well. But the problem with this one is that the game sometimes kind of realizes this late. So that means that you go into a match and you have like at the end of the third quarter, the score is like 52 to 50, and your point guard hasn't, so he made all of his shots, he hasn't missed a shot, he hasn't turned the ball over, and then the game kind of realizes that, oh my god, it's time to make the game realistic in the fourth quarter, and then suddenly from 50 to 52, the final score is 90 to 92, so the guys score, and just look at this, oh my god, the most beautiful. This is with the basic dunk packages, by the way, and the basic 40 post offense. Oh, that's beautiful. My favorite move still in 2K14. So anyway, and also for on a personal level, this means that your point guard will suddenly drop the ball and shoot 20 extremely bad shots just to make his final stats realistic. And again, so if you are open under the basket, your teammates will pass you. By the way, because that's something that really frustrated me, that they didn't they didn't seem to pass me the ball, but it appears that they only don't pass it to you because they are more intelligent or they see the play better than you. So if you don't get passes, it's not a mistake. So, and finally, the last thing is which is the game breaking stuff. In my opinion, that happens in around 30% of the matches, unfortunately, for either teams or for both teams. So it can happen for your team and for your opposing team, is that when the whole team forgets how to play basketball, meaning guards will do nothing else but drive towards the basket and do a layup or attempt a layup, and big man will do nothing but try to get offensive rebounds and do putbacks. So that means that just two examples. I have actually recorded these, and I will upload the videos of it. But two consecutive games. First of all, my team, I will not spoil which one it is, against the Dallas Mavericks, and 12-minute quarters, superstar difficulty, by the way, of course. And yes, just look at this halftime report. You will see the same move at least twice or three times. So the dunk, the block, the other dunk, and the third dunk, really nice dunks, and the block again. Anyway, so you saw two dunks and two blocks, which were actually the same move. So Dallas Mavericks, back to Dallas Mavericks and game-breaking stuff that happened. Dirk Nowitzki, 12-minute quarter, superstar difficulty, scored 0 of 3 attempts. I was guarding him as a rookie. Trust me, I wasn't that good. So he scored 0 points and attempted 3 shots. Very next game, San Antonio Spurs. Same thing. Team Duncan scored 4 or 6 points with me guarding him. And that's a really big problem, because that means that yeah, the game is broken, actually, because either your teammates forget to play basketball and you feel like playing with idiots, or your opponent forgets to play basketball and then it feels like a cheat win. And it happens way too often. So that's my biggest concern about the game. I hope it will be patched, but on the PC I don't I don't really believe in it. And I also hope that you enjoyed this second view of the game. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time.